Okay, my name is Amarayah Coeto, and I did my senior project on the animal shelter. Did you know that we have 3,500 animal shelters in the U.S. today? That's 6.3 million dogs who end up in these shelters each year. For every shelter, that's 1,800 dogs. A lot of these dogs often are mixed breeds. The reasons for these dogs ending up in these shelters are often people surrender their dogs due to hard times, financial issues, and some elderly people, when they pass away, a lot of the remaining family doesn't know what to do with these dogs, so a lot of them end up being put into these shelters. Some of them run away. When I was volunteering at the animal shelter, a lot of these animals ended up being strays. I only saw a couple of surrenders. Some of the cases are more severe, like animal abuse. That's when animal control comes in. So I'm going to be talking about what we can do to make these numbers go down and help the animals off the streets and out of these shelters. What are animal shelters? Animal shelters are a facility for animals where these animals go to get food, a safe place to live while they are homeless. Often they are runaways, like I said, or people surrender them. They provide a safe and clean environment for these animals for only a short amount of time. A lot of these animal shelters are actually kill centers. That is why it's so important to make sure that these animals don't end up in these shelters, and if we can decrease the numbers, it would be a lot better. Many people surrender dogs because of hard times, not having enough time. That is a huge one. A lot of people don't have enough time after they make this huge commitment of having these dogs. What is the environment like in the shelter? I would say lonely and sad. When I was volunteering there, a lot of the dogs, they would get up, but there was a lot that didn't. There was a lot that stared at the wall or just kind of like stayed in their bed. It was very loud, and I felt like there was a lot of jealousy when I was walking the dogs because of the dogs barking and getting like mad that they saw other dogs being out of their cage. Over the 2 months I walked the dogs and put them away. I talked to a lot of the staff members and studied their behaviors. I also worked with the cats. The cats was a big one. One fact is that animal shelters offer medical care if needed. So if an animal comes in and they are injured, they often will provide that care for the dog, and even vaccinations. I was there, and this one lady asked if she could see the dog that I had to give him a vaccination. One of the biggest issues is aggression and behavioral issues with dogs. That is why a lot of the dogs end up being put into these shelters, is because the owners don't know what to do. So some of the things that you can do is training. That often offers long-term success rates for dogs that act out. You can also use the internet. That's a more cheaper way to go because training costs a lot of money. But if you want something where you want to understand why your dog might be acting a certain way, the internet, research the behavior, and it'll tell you why they might be acting out or things you can do to help the dog. Also, with the aggression issues, you can definitely get your dog fixed. I had a dog that we ended up fixing because of his aggression issues. What exactly was my senior project? So, I have wanted to be a veterinarian since the age of 12 years old. I have a dog that we actually adopted at the animal shelter. She is a mixed breed. She's the sweetest thing ever. And I wanted to do something that would be helpful for the dogs and be good for the dogs. So I decided the animal shelter because I felt like that was the best route to go. And I wanted to do something to help the community. So over the course of like about 2 months, is when I walked these dogs, I helped out and did all these things. I also decided that I wanted to do a non-money donation. So I collected like blankets, food, like anything that my neighbors or friends or family could donate. And I collected it all and took it to the animal shelter on my last day. This is some blankets I collected. This is also some other stuff. I have like dog food, the blankets. This is toys. I got dog treats, a lot of dog treats. I got some cat toys, more blankets. A lot of people donated blankets. I got food dishes and collars and all that. Some of the animals that I worked with was Doom the Husky. He was really cute, but he was very vocal. He like talked back a lot. It was kind of funny, but he was the sweetest thing ever. This is Charlie. He's the Poodle Maltese. I didn't work with him much, but he did pee on me. He peed on my shoe when I walked in. This is Buddy, the American Pit Bull. Very sweet dog. This is Lenny, the cat. He's the like one cat that I like mostly did stuff with because he's like my favorite. He actually ended up being adopted. So that was kind of cool. I got to witness that. So yeah, my conclusion is I hope that it was very helpful learning about the animal shelter, and that maybe other people will consider maybe thinking about the decisions they make when they decide to adopt a dog or buy one, because the biggest issues are like overbreeding. That's one thing, is some people only get licensed to breed these dogs, but then they just give them out to people who don't really think about like the responsibility of having these like dogs in their life. So I hope my presentation was good, and yeah, hopefully we can decrease these numbers.